What is going on, comic book fans? Guys, we are 1 day away, maybe even less than a day away when you guys see this video from the best day of the work week, which is New Comic Book Day. And this week's New Comic Book Day is July 10th of 2024. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, Bruce, are you going to go over the best reads of the week? I sure am. Are you going to cover the best covers of the week? You know I am. But guys, this video is your hype video for New Comic Book Day. I give you all the best information, at least I give you my best opinions on what the best reads, the best covers, and everything else that you need to know about New Comic Book Day in today's video. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and check out my pull list. Alright guys, as you guys can see, it is another large week for me. There are so many books up on my screen, so many. I had so much reading to do this weekend. I had to read 22 books and I read 21. I read 21 books over this weekend, so one book will not be able to be on the top 3 list. But you guys can't see what those books are, so let me go ahead and throw them up on screen right now. Guys, there are a total of 25 books on my pull list. And of those 25, there are 3 new number ones, 7 DC books, 6 Marvel books, and 12 indie titles. I absolutely love indie books, guys. There are so many great indie books out there that you guys have to be reading. But the one book that I did not get caught up on this weekend is Spider-Boy. So Spider-Boy will not be able to make the top 3 list. Every other book can. But guys, that is my pull list. Let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is not the chopping block, because no books were terrible this week. There were so many good stories. So we can move right over to my cover lever picks. Alright guys, I found 14 covers that I would pick up the comic based on just the cover art alone, and these are some really good ones. And the first cover that I want to share with you guys is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 53 with the connecting cover variant and also the 1 in 50 Virgin connecting cover variant done by Gabriel Del Otto. Now he's done so many of these connecting cover sets at Marvel Comics. He's done Venom, he's done Spider-Verse, he's done Blood Hunt. I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2 other sets that he's done, but this one is for the Amazing Spider-Man, and we get some awesome characters on this first one. You got Mysterio, you've got Sandman, you've got a little bit of Doc Ock and Electro. Just so many great characters just on this first cover. I'm definitely going to collect all of these because I love Gabriel Del Otto's artwork so stinking much. Now next up is another cover for the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 53. Now this is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Russell Dauterman. He's also done a ton of these covers where he takes a single character and draws a bunch of different versions of that character on the cover, and this one features Spider-Man, and we get some really cool variants of him on this cover. I'm a big Russell Dauter fan, and this cover is so good. Now next up is Spider-Boy issue number 9. Now Marvel is putting on all these Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe covers, and this one for Spider-Boy is really good because Spider-Boy has Deadpool all wrapped up and they're doing like a death match on video games. So good. So good. And this one is done by Now Fuji, which is an artist I've never heard of before, but this cover is really good in my opinion. Now guys, next up is Absolute Power Task Force 7 issue number 1 with the cover B variant done by Dave Raposa. This cover is so good. I'm not a huge fan of this whole Absolute Power crossover series that's going to happen over at DC Comics, but this cover is so good. Now guys, next up is another cover for Absolute Power Task Force 7 issue number 1 with the cover F foil variant done by Dave Mora. It's a design variant and it's so good. Now there is going to be a whole run of these featuring all the different like Amazon robots, all themed to the different superheroes. I believe this one is for Superman, and it is so good. There's going to be Flash, Wonder Woman, all the different Justice Leaguers are going to have their old Amazon design variant, and I just think they're really freaking cool because Dan Mora is a badass artist. Now guys, next up is Batman 89 Echoes issue number 3 with the cover C variant, which is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Hayden Sherman. I showed this back when it was on previews. It is so good in my opinion, just like Batman being so little, like swinging between the buildings, and he's also doing a Superman variant, and then you could actually make like kind of like a V, because the Superman variant is like tilted the opposite way, and Superman's flying between the two buildings, and I want to get both of these and like just like have them like slapped up on the wall, and I think that would look so freaking cool. Hayden Sherman's also just like an amazing artist, but this one right here is so good in my opinion. It's probably not going to be super popular because I'm probably the only weirdo that really digs this cover, but I gotta share with you guys because I really like it. Now guys, next up is Kid Venom, issue number 1 with the variant cover in the 1 in 100 virgin ratio variant done by In-Huck Lee. I'm personally not gonna be picking this up, but I think this is a super cool cover, especially for this character I know nothing about, and I'm just really digging this cover. Now guys, next up is Star Wars Ahsoka, issue number 1 with the variant in the 1 in 100 virgin variant done by Aka. Again, this is another cover that I showed when it was back on previews. I think this is gorgeous. It is really cool. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm not an Ahsoka fan. Man, this cover is amazing. Now guys, next up is Star Wars Ahsoka, issue number 1 with the 1 in 25 ratio variant, and this is the TV variant. And this features Rosario Dawson up close and personal. She's a gorgeous woman. This Ahsoka looks so freaking cool in this cover. And yeah, I think this is a banger in my opinion. Now guys, next up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 40th anniversary comic celebration, issue number 1 with the cover D variant done by Sophia Campbell. This is cool. This is really stinky cool in my opinion. You got the 4 turtles with their original red masks, and on the bottom you see a little bit of Splinter and a little bit of Shredder. So good. So good. There are a bunch of different cool covers for this, but I like this one the most. Now guys, next up is Sinister Sons, issue number 6 with the cover B variant done by Raza. If you guys are not reading this series, you're missing out. This is a super fun series, and I just think this cover is so cool with the fist and ring kind of like blurred, but then the other characters like really sharp and focused, like a little bit further away. Some really cool parallax there. Such a cool idea, and I think this cover is awesome. Now guys, next up is Gun Honey Collision Course, issue number 3 with the FOC Helmet Virgin variant done by Ji-Hung Lee. Now Ji-Hung Lee also did the cover A, which is a little bit more sexy. She doesn't have the helmet on, and her jacket is like unzipped, and you get a lot more cleavage, but I think this one is a lot better in my opinion. It gives a little bit more mystery, and that mystery is really nice. I think this cover is gorgeous. Now guys, 2 more covers. Next up is a cover that I hate that I like it so much. This is Deadpool issue number 1 with the facsimile edition of 2024 with the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Benjamin Sue. I don't love it because I don't like to pick up different covers for facsimiles. I think that's silly and crazy that Marvel is doing this, but this cover is so good. So good. If I see this on my comic shop for a low price, like 10 bucks, I'm probably gonna hit order. Most likely am gonna hit order, and then I'll really enjoy having it, but I really don't want Deadpool issue number 1, the facsimile edition. I have no need for that in my own personal collection, but this cover, I think I need it. Now guys, the final cover that I want to share with you guys is a cover that I have to own. I have to own. This is so good. Kill All Immortals, issue number 1 with the cover C variant, which is the 1 in 10 ratio variant done by Raphael Albuquerque. I'm really excited for this series, and we're going to talk about the series in just a moment, but this cover is so good. So good. It's a 1 in 10, so it should be nice and cheap, and I just cannot wait to buy it. I cannot wait to buy it tomorrow. It's going to be so good to have this in my collection, and my fingers are so crossed that this series is going to be as amazing as it sounds. But guys, that is the final cover on my cover lover picks for this week, which again is July 10th of 2024. Now let's go ahead and move over to the new number 1s that I think you guys have to be excited about. Quick break in the video, guys, for me to ask a huge favor of each and every single one of you guys watching this video right now. Could you please smash that like button? It helps out the channel so much when you guys do that. So please smash that like button. But let's go ahead and move over to the new number 1s that you guys have to be excited about. Alright guys, this new number 1, I have been talking about it since I saw it on previews, since I saw it on FOC. It's finally hitting New Comic Book Day, and I am like really excited about it. And it is Kill All Immortals issue number 1. Now this is coming from the writer of Zach Kaplan and has art by Fico Ossio. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right or wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the synopsis for the third time on this channel, because I'm just like, I don't know, I think this could be a super fun story. Succession meets John Wick with immortal Vikings. 1,000 years ago, Viking explorer Eric the Red and his 4 adult children discovered a mysterious source of immortality. Now, in our modern world, they are a enigmatic billionaire family with a powerful banking empire. But when Eric's only daughter, Frey Asvold, seeks to finally be free of her family's influence, she must be prepared to reveal their supernatural secrets and confront her well-trained siblings in a deadly and epic struggle for power. Get ready for a bloodthirsty fight like no other. And just check out this cover A. It is so gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. And that pink, vibrant blood splatter and her axe and just everything about this cover is so good. Now, this is going to be 32 pages for $3.99, which is a great normal cover price for a book. And I'm just really excited about it. Now, there are 2 variant covers for this book. There is the cover B. I'm not a huge fan of it. And there's that cover C, which is the 1:10 ratio variant done by Raphael Albuquerque, which I'm like, I have to have it. I have to have the cover A in the cover B. And yeah, maybe in the future, I can meet Zach Kaplan at a con and get these both signed, because that would be so awesome. But guys, there is one other new #1 that I am pretty excited about, but I'm also very hesitant to get too excited about. It is X-Men issue #1. We're finally getting our new #1 for X-Men with a new creative team. We're off Krakoa finally, and I'm really hoping this is going to be good. Now, the reason why I have higher hopes than I normally would is that the writer is Jed MacKay, and we're having some amazing art by Ryan Stegman. So we have an amazing creative team on a book with characters that so many people love. I really hope this is going to be good. I have seen some people complaining about how young Cyclops looks. I would agree with you. I think it's a really weird way to go with his character design, but everyone else looks really good. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this book as well. From the ashes, Krakoa is gone. Osiris has fallen, but the X-Men remain always. Cyclops leads because that's what he does. Beast builds because that's what he does. And from their new home in Alaska, the X-Men raise a flag of defiance. Mutant business is their business. Join Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Psylocke, Kid Omega, one of my favorite mutants, period, Temper, Magic, and Juggernaut, as new forces in the world move into position, battling for the destiny and philosophy of the mutant species. Could be really good, guys. Could be really good. My only worry is that if you look at the team book that Jed MacKay is writing right now, which is the Avengers, it's not very good. Like, not very good at all. But if you go look at Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, those stories are amazing. They're so well written. You can tell that there's so much love in those characters that Jed MacKay has, and he's pouring it into the pages, and it's so good. So fingers crossed that he has a love for the X-Men and all the X-Men characters, and we get an awesome freaking story. Now, there are like variant covers galore for this. There is the J. Scott Campbell Psylocke variant, which is pretty good. There is the JTC Magic variant, which is okay. The Peach Mocha one is actually pretty good in my opinion. I love the Scotty Young. There is a Tony S. Daniel one that's okay. There is John Romita Jr. No, I forgot who the Beast one is. I forgot who it's a major artist. I'm completely blanking. And there's also like another cool one that's okay. But yeah, my favorite is definitely just the cover A by Stegman and the Scotty Young one. But guys, those are the 2 books. Kill All Immortals, issue #1, and X-Men, issue #1. Make sure you guys are picking up both, and leave a comment on next week's video on how much you guys liked both of those books. All right, guys. Those are the new #1s that I think you guys have to be excited about. Let's go ahead and move over to the top 3 books that I think you guys have to be picking up this week because the stories are the best. I read 21 books this weekend. 21 books, and I could only pick 3 for the top 3 list. It did take me a little while to pick these top 3 books, but in the number 3 spot, we have Geiger, issue #4. Now, this is coming from the writer of Jeff Johns and art by Gary Frank, and I gotta tell you, issue #3 of this new volume of Geiger was absolutely amazing. It built on what was happening in issues #1 and issues #2, and what I really liked about issue #3 is that the main character is per se a superhero. He can turn into the Glowing Man, which is like this nuclear like guy, and he can just like lay waste to almost anything with this nuclear power that he has. But a great thing that Jeff Johns does in issue number 3 is humanizes him. He doesn't let us forget that the character of Tark is a human. Even though he is this superpowered being, at heart, he still is a human who has lost his family, and he is walking this wasteland alone. But he also has this character of the Knight that's walking alongside of him. That is his nice comedic relief and kind of like, releases a lot of the tension that Tark gives the story. And there was this awesome moment in issue number 3 that Tark was just trying to find a book because he loves reading. He loves to have that escape from the world that he's part of. Like there's this total wasteland that is just completely bizarre and everyone's out to kill him. He just wants to be able to escape at night in these books. And the Knight doesn't understand that because he was so young when the world fell apart that reading has never been a part of his life. And he made fun of Tark for like basically wanting these books. But then this moment happened and he realized how wrong he was. The Knight did. And he went on this whole journey to find this book for Tark after his current book got burned up. And it was this moment in this story where he humanized the Knight and he humanized Tark, and it was awesome. It was such an awesome moment for the two characters, because also Tark has not loved having this little sidekick along his journey, but I think they came together a little more and they became a little bit closer as friends, I guess you could say. But it was awesome, and the artwork by Gary Frank is like so good. And I love when a post-apocalyptic story is done well like this, and when it's not just all bizarre craziness, mutated people and all that. You can bring it back home and like see the characters for who they are. So good. The pacing was great. The writing has been amazing throughout this whole story. And again, the art by Gary Frank is amazing. There are 2 variant covers for this. Well, technically only 1. There's the cover B done by Andre Lima. I don't know how to pronounce the person's last name. I don't even want to try because I'm going to butcher it. But the cover is okay. And there is a 1:50 ratio variant, which is just a foil of the cover A, I believe. But guys, that is the number 3 book. Let's go ahead and find out what my number 2 is. All right, guys, the number 2 book this week is another independent book, and this is Dawn Runner issue number 4. Now, this is coming from the writer of Rom V and has art by Evan Cagle. This story has gotten better and better with every single issue. Now, this is obviously only issue number 4 coming out this week. I've read 1, 2, and 3. I read issue number 3 yesterday. The story is so good. This is another post-apocalyptic world, you could say. It's set off way off into the future, and there's these alien creatures called the Tetsa, and these like portals open up in the world. The Tetsas come down. They're like big, Godzilla-like creatures, and they just like lay waste to everything. And we humans have made these like big suits of armor, and we go fight them. And there is this new suit of armor that we find out that the computer that helps drive it is actually a human brain of a dead soldier. And the character that jacks into this suit has been communicating with this human brain, and they're communicating with each other, and it's helping them like fight better. But there's so much more to the story with this like human brain, because it's having all these old memories. And it's so cool. It's such a cool twist on the story. So they're not just big mech robots. No, there's a human still inside of the robot, even though it's only human brain. But it's so good. There's so much more to the story. There really is. There's this whole political side of it, and also money side of it, because humans are just always trying to make money. Even in a world where aliens could destroy us at any moment, people still want to make money. And it's crazy what they're willing to do that. And the fights are like actually broadcast on TV. People watch these fights around the world with the mechs and the aliens, so that's a whole nother thing. There's just so much to it, and Rom V is doing a fantastic job of telling the story and making you care about all the characters in this book. There's so many other characters that are really cool and intriguing, and you get little bits of them throughout the story. Great. It's a great book, and the art by Evan Cagle is really intriguing. I really like it. His monster designs are amazing. The suit designs are great. The fight scenes are very energetic, and they draw you in. So good. This is a great story with great art, and if you like sci-fi stuff like this, you guys have to be reading this book. Now, there are some awesome variant covers for this. There is the cover B done by David Lau, which is really great, and there is the cover C done by Gax Valley, which is very vibrant, lots of colors, and you almost can get lost in this cover. It is so gorgeous. But that is the number 2 book. Let's go ahead and find out what my number 1 is. I think this is the second week in a row where we've had all indies on the top 3 list. This list has been amazing. All the reads this week have been absolutely like the best. Now, the number 1 book that I think you guys have to be reading this week is The Hunger in the Dusk, Book 2, issue number 1. Now this is coming from the writer of G. Willow Wilson and has art by Christian Wildgoose. Now I do want to say, if you guys have not joined the Discord, guys, there's a link down in the description below to join the Discord. You should join the Discord, because after I read issue number 6 of volume 1, I immediately went into the Discord. I was like, you guys have to read this, and someone actually went out and bought the trade on my recommendation and read it and freaking loved it. That's how good this story is. Now, I'm not sure if I said the art is done by Christian Wildgoose, which has one of the best names in the business, but the art is stunning. Just check out this cover. The way he can draw emotion and expressions on the face of his characters are so good. He's drawing orcs and humans and Vongols and elves and like so many fantastical creatures. So I guess I could like get you kind of up to speed on what this story is all about, which I've done this. I think this book has been on the top 3 list almost every single issue because the story is so good. But it's fantasy, so it's on a world where there's orcs, humans, elves, dwarfs, and all those fantastical, amazing, awesome creatures. But it mainly follows the orcs and the humans, and it follows a group of humans called the Last Men Standing, and they are charged with finding where the Vangold are coming from. And they're an awesome group of humans. And then the other group of people are the orcs, and we mainly follow this girl named Tara. She is from one of the orc clans, and she is part of a treaty between the humans and the orcs to work together, and she has to go with the Last Man Standing. Now, she is a healer, so she's there to like heal anyone that gets hurt along the journey. And during that journey, the main leader of the Last Men, Cal, starts to fall in love with Tara. And there's this whole budding new love that is going on during the whole first volume. But then obviously drama happens and they separate, and the human and orc alliance is like, you know, it's falling apart. What's going to happen? And issue number 6, which I read this past weekend, was all about Tara. And we get a lot of backstory for her character and the journey that she's been through to get to where she is now. And it's like you realize she's gone through so much, and she's continuing to go through so much. And she's on her own right now because she left the Last Man Standing, and she's trying to get back to the to her orc family. And she runs into the Vangold, but she gets a key piece of information. It was so good. It was such like a crazy moment. But the synopsis for this new volume, let me read it for you guys, because this is how exciting it is. After the falling out between Cal and Tara, love is lost, and the fragile human-orc alliance has ripped at the seams. The Last Men Standing are sitting ducks without their healer, and their enemies have multiplied. As ruthless Vangol and rogue orc dynasties stoke the flames of war, Tara could be civilization's last hope for peace, but she may become a distant memory when a fresh face joins the battlefield. And if you guys look closely on this cover, there is this character that I'll put a little pointer to that looks like that fresh face, and I believe she's probably going to be someone from Cal's past, maybe a love from his past that's going to get in between Cal and Tara, because that's the love that I want. I want that human orc love just to blossom and be amazing and save the human race. But I gotta tell you guys, this is such a good story. The writing by G. Willow Wilson is so good. Every single issue has this certain pacing where she's giving you little bits of information and character development and everything that you need to know, and like sucks you in. When you finish an issue, you're like, I need the next issue. I need it. I feel so jealous to the person who bought the trade and was able to read all 6 issues back to back to back. That had to have been like such an amazing read. And the art, again, by Christian Wildgoose, is incredible. The colors are amazing. The line work, everything is so good. This is a must read in my opinion. Go pick up volume 1 in trade. Pick it up so that way you can enjoy the issues with me as they come out month after month. Hopefully there's not going to be any delays in this, because there was a gap between volume 1 and volume 2, which is totally understandable. But guys, this book, so good. All right, guys, that is the number 1 book that I think you guys have to be reading this week. Let's go ahead and cover the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. The not top 3, but the books you gotta see is the section of video where I cover every single book on my pull list that we have not talked about yet and give you little nuggets of information on this book, on if it's good, great, not so great. I just want you guys to have all the information on all these books I've read, because I've read 21 books this past weekend and a lot of them were fantastic, and I want to give you guys that information. All right, guys, first up is Absolute Power Task Force issue number 7, issue number 1. This is the only number 1 that I did not talk about, and I'm very hesitant to say this book is going to be great or bad or terrible or whatever. But it is written by Leah Williams, and I have not liked her writing in the past. But like I said, I'm picking up this book for the cover, so I might as well read it as well. But I'm not super pumped for it. All right, guys, next up is Action Comics issue number 1067. Now, we're having a creative change on this book. Gail Simone is taking over as the main writer on this, and I'm super hesitant to be excited for this as well. I really liked when PKJ and Joshua Williamson were writing Superman in Action Comics. They were a great team. The books moved together in unison, and it was awesome. But now we get a new creative team, so I don't know if this is going to be good or great. But over like the last 6 months, Action Comics has been awesome. So high hopes. All right, guys, next up, Ain't No Grave, issue number 3. Issues number 1 and 2 were fantastic, and 2 was better than 1. I think this story is going to continue to get better and better with every single issue. The art by Jorge Corona is amazing. The story by Scotty Young, so good. All right, guys, next up, The Avengers, issue number 16. We're still in this Blood Hunt thing. I got to tell you, this Blood Hunt tie-in, I got to tell you, this story has been terrible. Terrible with this Blood Hunt stuff. It's like unreadable. I read 6 pages of this last issue, issue number 15, and put it down and was like, I'm done. I'm going to continue collecting it so I have my full Jen McKay Avengers run, but I cannot wait for this Blood Hunt stuff to be over, because this Avengers stuff has been terrible. Next up, Batman and Robin, issue number 11. Issue number 10 was really good. It was wrapping up the current story arc, and we're getting the start of the next one in the back of issue number 10, and Goliath was back. And if you guys do not know who Goliath is, just type into Google Damian Wayne Goliath, and you will see what this awesome character is. Such a cool character. He was only in like the last 2 pages, but I love him so much as a character. But this story is really cool, and we're gonna go to some island with dinosaurs on it, which is pretty cool, I guess. Damian Wayne, Batman, dinosaurs, let's go. All right, guys, next up is Batman Gotham by Gaslight, The Kryptonian Age, issue number 2. This book was okay. I read issue number 1, not issue number 2, just issue number 1, and it was, like I said, okay. Lots of setup. It felt a little long in the tooth, and the artwork was not for me. I did not like the artwork at all, but I'm excited to see where this story is going to go, because we are getting these Elseworld takes on characters that we know and love. So I'm interested to see where it's going to go, but not high hopes. Next up, Critical Role Vox Machina Origins, issue number 2. I didn't know what to think about this book when I picked it up. I loved the TV show on Prime, Vox Machina. I think that was freaking awesome. One of the best cartoons I've watched in a while. And I just wanted to see if the comic book was going to be fun. And it was. It wasn't great. I'm not going to say it was great, but if you watch the TV show, you're most likely going to like this as well. The character designs are a little different than the TV show itself. Not terribly different, but definitely a little different. That took a little while to get used to, but overall the story was super fun. I'm excited to see where this story is going to go. Next up, Crocodile Black, issue number 3. This is written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, or PKJ as I like to call him. This story got better. Issue number 1 was okay. Issue number 2 was really good. It's setting up something really dark and twisted, and the main character is gonna be, I think, a murderer. And I think that's really cool, and how he's setting it up is absolutely awesome. The kid was a food delivery guy, and he goes to a house where the guy passed away, and he's basically like taking over this guy's life a little bit, and it's really interesting. The kid's a little twisted. I like it. All right, guys, next up is Daredevil, issue number 11. This story continues to be okay. It's not bad. It's definitely not great. It's interesting, but not overly interesting, and it kind of treads on being mundane sometimes, but I'm liking it. Not hating it, but I'm not loving it. So it's okay. It's Daredevil. I always read Daredevil, so I want it to be better. But if you like Daredevil, you'll probably like it as well. All right, guys, next up is Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, issue number 5. Issue number 4 was good. I liked it. This story is definitely getting better and better with every single issue, which is like not what you always want. I like to start a story really great and just be great all the time. But this one, if you like the character of the Hood, which I do, is really interesting. If you like Ghost Rider, then you'll like this, because Johnny Blaze is back. And I forgot who the other character is. It's a character helping Johnny Blaze, which has been in other stories, which I like that character a lot as well. So this story, good. Really good. Next up, Green Lantern, issue number 13. This is written by Jeremy Adams. If you're not reading it, read it. I know it's 12 issues to go pick up to get caught up to issue number 13, but if you like Green Lantern as a character, this story has gotten, again, I think it started off a little slow, but it's slowly building up and up and up and getting better and better, and I really like where it's going. I really do. Hal Jordan and his girlfriend, Carol Danvers, coming together. I think that's her name. Carol something. Doesn't matter. Love stories. I love love stories, and the last 2 issues featured a lot of it, and it was great. Next up, Monolith, issue number 3, the final issue of this 3-issue miniseries. Just a fun Spawn book. Spawn continues to put out some really fun stuff, and this one was just a ton of fun. It set off like way into the future when you're following Monolith, this character who's new to me, and yeah, I just enjoy it. It's a 3-issue mini. If you're into that kind of stuff, check out this book. Next up, Monsters Are My Business, and my business is bloody, issue number 4. Not great. Not great. Not terrible. Issue number 1 was so good. 2 and 3 have just been status quo, I would say. Just like, okay. It's keeping me engaged, but I want it to be better. I like the artwork. I like the characters. It's just the story is falling a little flat for me. All right, guys, next up is Morning Star, issue number 4. Now, this book is written by my best friend in the comic book industry, David Andry, and his friend Tim Daniel. This is a great sci-fi story. This book almost made the top 3 list. It's dealing with a family, dealing with the loss of their father or husband, and it's tragic, and it's written so well, but there's this huge sci-fi part to it, which is this whole twist on the story, which is so good. All right, guys, next up is Outsiders, issue number 9. Now, this story is really good. Every single issue have been at least good. Some stories have been great, or some issues have been great. It's written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. I love their writing style, and this book has just been a ton of fun. It's dealing with a lot of like really out there things in the DC universe, and it's been a ton of fun. All right, guys, next up is Precious Metal, issue number 2. Now, issue number 1 was a lot, especially if you did not read Little Bird, and this is a prequel to Little Bird. You're diving into this whole fantastical, crazy world. If you can, go read Little Bird first and then dive into this. It will help you a lot. I wish I did that. I just don't have time. Now, this book is written by Darcy Van Polkes and has art by Ian Bertram. Great writer, great artist. I'm excited for issue number 2. Now, guys, next up is Sinister Sons, issue number 6. Issue number 5 was awesome. Awesome. I considered possibly putting it on the top 3 list, but the story really isn't that good. But I loved the whole story in issue number 5. You got the son of Sinestro, or he thinks he's the son of Sinestro, had this whole communication with Sinestro, and then you got the son of Zod giving him crap the whole entire time. Not Sinestro, but the son of Sinestro, giving him a hard time for not just asking him or telling him, hey, I might be your son. It was done so well, and I cannot wait to see where the story is going to go. The next up is Spider-Boy, issue number 9. I did not read issue number 8, but this whole story has been fun. It's written for a younger audience. So if you're interested in reading that, just go into it knowing that this is written for a younger audience. Now, next up is Transformers issue number 10. I did not like issue number 9. And I gotta be honest, I didn't love issue number 8 or issue number 7. The story is like kind of falling apart for me. I'm hoping they're gonna bring it all together, but I don't know. I don't know what's really going on anymore in this book. There's so much craziness, and it's not a cohesive story. At least it doesn't feel cohesive. It feels like really spread out, and it doesn't feel like a Daniel Warren Johnson story, but it is. The artwork by Jorge Corona is amazing, but I don't know. Something needs to happen. I'm going to continue collecting this book, but, you know, something needs to change. This needs to be better, because this book has to be amazing. Has to be. So do better. Now, the final book that we got to talk about is The Ultimates, issue number 2. Issue number 1 was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Formulaic. Definitely saw exactly where it was going, but still a lot of fun. Artwork was okay. Not great, not terrible. Wish it was better, but the covers by Dyke Rulon are really good. I'm excited for the next issue. I'm excited for the series as a whole. It was definitely better than Ultimate X-Men. It was better than Ultimate Black Panther. This is my second favorite series of the Ultimate Universe. Just don't be so formulaic. Be better. All right, guys. That is the not top 3, but the books you got to see. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, we are at the end of today's video. And before I thank you guys for sticking around to the end, I just want to talk to everyone who's still asking, when are the giveaways going to be coming back? They will come back probably in the fall. I was hoping to bring them back sooner, but money is a little tight and the giveaways come right out of my pocket. Now, I obviously collect a lot of things and I could probably pull back from that, but I'm also spending a lot of stuff on like vacations and other things that are a little bit more important because they're family based. And I just gotta tell you guys, I will bring back the giveaways when it's right for me and financially right for me. And right now it's financially not right for me. So they will come back most likely when school starts back up, probably in September. And I will have a little bit more money because I won't be spending so much during the summer. So just so you guys know, the giveaways will come back, but most likely in the fall. And if that's the only reason that you're watching this video, I guess you guys can tune out and come back in September. But I hope you are here for just my total excitement and enthusiasm for comics. That's why I make these videos. I do not make these videos for giveaways. I make these videos to share my passion and my love for comics. So I just want to get that out there to you guys so that way you guys know if you're looking for giveaways, September or October. All right, guys, now I can thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. And if you have watched from the beginning of the video to this point right now, you guys know you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. If you guys watched this video and have not subscribed yet, I'm just gonna say, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notification, and smash that like button. Now, last but not least, what am I gonna say? I don't even know. I think I got ahead of myself. And yeah, guys, this will be a 2-video week. I'll have my final order cutoff video. I know I missed like 2 out of the past 3 weeks, but I'm back. I don't think anything's gonna stop me from making final order cutoff videos, at least for a little while. So I'm excited. Final order cutoff on Thursday or Friday. And that's gonna be it for this week. All right, guys, have yourself a great new comic book day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.